Welcome, dear listeners. We have eerie tales ahead. You'll be lured into the realm of nightmares filled with fear and dread. We'll ease you in with laughs, but you mustn't be misled. Be wary, you've been warned. Don't listen before bed.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Don't Listen Before Bed. I'm Arrow.
Hi, I'm Ari.
And we're back again this week to bring you the scariest possible story we could find on the internet to make sure you have the worst possible sleep ever. With that being said, how are you, Ari? How was your sleep last week after last week's story?
Actually, this entire week I've had a lot of spooky stories in mind, and I've been thinking a lot about ghosts and stuff, so this week has really been not the best for me leading up to Halloween, but I like it that way, so that's good.
Without giving too much away, what did you think of the first half of last week's episode, which involved the legend story, the one that was more folklore oriented?
Yeah, so I didn't want to give too much, I guess as a spoiler, right? So
it's a tough question because I'm trying to make you not give too much away, but I also want to get your feeling for it. Because the reason why I'm asking is because this week we're going to follow a similar vibe with the story. But it's a little bit more comprehensive.
Okay, good. I like that. So to tell you the truth, I really like when stories don't have an absolute ending, and it's up to the listener or the audience to kind of not interpret, but kind of figure out like, hey, like, did this chapter close, or could it still be around? Is this legend still around? So
it's kind of like Chinese whispers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because it also has, as part of the research I did for last week's episode, there was a ton of versions, like very slightly different versions that you would find on different websites.
Yeah.
And it fell more within that creepypasta Reddit r/creepypasta don't listen before bed category.
Exactly.
Whereas this week, I tried to find something that was a bit more... there's no other way to describe it other than Japanese folklore.
Yeah.
But I think you and I both like this sort of category because
it's
it reminds
my favorite.
us. Yeah. Doesn't it just remind you of
PS1
game
games,
we used
man.
to play? Yeah. The one that like started us off on like Japanese horror. The camera one.
Yeah, what was it called? I literally was looking at it just yesterday. Actually, Fatal Frame. Yeah,
yes.
Fatal Frame.
Yeah. I always get that. That was probably one of the first horror games that you and I actually like sunk our teeth into, but we're too scared to fully play it ourselves because I think we were too young at the time as well. But that like introduced me to like really
even
scary.
Now, man. Yeah. Even now, like there's something so scary and spooky about like kind of playing those kind of fixed camera angles, kind of games where your character kind of moves around and investigates, drawers and books and so as a kid it's terrifying.
I actually totally forgot that it was one of those fixed camera angle games where you're basically a security camera, CCTV in the corner of the room, and you just got you're being set up because like you always have a blind spot behind the door.
Oh my god, yes, yeah.
I think by the end of the like season 1 of Don't Listen Before Bed, you're gonna have like insomnia. I hope that's
the more spooky stuff you can offer me, the better.
Okay, well, I hope you're ready for today's story.
Yeah, man.
The title
I'm ready.
is "Am I Pretty?"
Okay. Man.
No.
Do you want me to answer that? You want to talk about you for a little?
Are you not going to reply to me? You're just going to leave me hanging like that?
That beanie looked fresh. That beanie looked fresh, man. I'll say that. All right, that beanie looked good.
Oh man, the face reveal isn't only you're seeing me, but the people won't. Eventually, we'll get to the point where we're going to do sort of cam work. Well, cam work makes it sound like we're going to do like OnlyFans. No, we're gonna have our cameras on for IRL. Sort of reaction storytelling.
Oh, it'll be a blast, But am I pretty? I like that title. I like that.
Anyway, am I pretty?
Makes me think a lot of bad things are happening with someone that wants to be loved. I'll put it that way.
Only bad things can come from that. It's so eerie, right? Like Like, why are you asking?
Yeah. Am I pretty?
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready to get into it?
Yep.
In a quiet, picturesque village nestled amidst the rolling hills of rural Japan, a malevolent legend loomed over the inhabitants. The tale of Kuchisake Onna haunted the collective imagination of the villagers for centuries. Described as the embodiment of vengeance and horror, she was the stuff of nightmares. Her presence felt even when she remained hidden behind her mask. The legend of Kuchisake Onna was said to have its roots in Japan's Edo period, a time of samurai and folklore. But its resurgence came in the 1970s, shaking the very foundations of the quiet village life. Whispers of this malicious spirit sent shivers down the spines of young children who dared to walk the village streets after sunset. Parents would accompany their little ones, clutching tightly to their hands and telling them to be cautious of a woman who roamed the nights.
Sounds like a spirit is not finished with an area, and they're coming back to either find someone or find something, aka maybe love or, validation. And as you said, that could turn into a sinister thing. So that's kind of what I'm getting right now.
They've always got unfinished business.
Yeah.
But she hides behind a mask. That's the creepy detail. And it's children that seem to be the ones that are the target.
Okay, that's really... Okay, what if she is a spirit who potentially passed away during their youth and they never moved on or, matured, so they're kind of still stuck in that time or thought kind of like process of like, hey, I'm still a kid. I still want to wear masks and hang around and run around. Is that a thing?
We'll see. We'll get into the
okay,
more nitty-gritty details, and you'll start to get a better picture of Kuchisake Onna.
Okay.
She was believed to be a woman who suffered a gruesome fate during her lifetime. Some versions of the legend painted her as an adulterous wife or a mistress of a samurai. Can you imagine?
What the heck? This just turned into like a badass anime character.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just ask one thing?
Yeah, no, go ahead, man. I feel like you've got...
I said
samurai, I knew I was going to throw you in. That's all I needed.
Okay, no. You know what? Continue as you go, please, and I'll ask you.
Feel free to cut in whenever you want.
No, you go. Keep going. This is good.
Her loneliness had driven her into the arms of other men, away from her absent husband who was constantly at war. When the samurai learned of her affairs, rage consumed him, and as punishment for her infidelity, he used a sharp instrument to cruelly mutilate her.
Damn,
son.
Shoot.
You're starting to get a bit of a better picture, right?
Yeah.
Other versions of the story offer different origins for her appearance. And personally, I see these being as a little bit more of the lamer origin stories. I prefer the samurai version, but I'll let you know them anyway, just so that you see that it's like coming from multiple different angles and parts of history.
Okay.
Some believed she had been mutilated during a medical procedure, while others suggested that a jealous woman's attack would leave her with an appearance no one would ever forget. In all iterations, the result was the same. A tortured spirit forever bound to this world. So it's a little bit hard to track exactly why she looks the way she looks. And I'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But it's clear that like mutilation and like a terrifying facial features are one of the key characteristics of Kuchisake Onna. After her tragic death, she returned as an onryo, a vengeful spirit, with her face permanently concealed behind a cloth mask, often a surgical one, or a hand fan, or a handkerchief. So again, there's multiple versions of the story that describe her face being concealed by different things, but the key detail is, with this Japanese legend, that her face is always concealed. So she clutches a sharp instrument in her hand, a menacing symbol of her torment. Some described it as a knife, a machete, a scythe, or a large pair of scissors. Her supernatural speed made her an even more formidable presence, able to appear and disappear at will. And now I have to stop you because I know exactly what you're thinking. She can flash step. Yes, she is very fast.
No, I'm just thinking of like what makes her just suddenly have these supernatural like powers,
It's just the way in which her ghostly apparition chooses to manifest in the world.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
She's just a terrifying manifestation of vengeance.
Yeah. She's so angry of what happened, right? She comes back
That's
with
what it is. Yeah,
just like power to like fight someone or something, you know? So
literally. I mean, remember Elizabeth from episode 1 story?
Yeah.
Died a pretty good way, you know, continued working. So came back working in her ghost form.
That's so unfortunate.
I know.
She doesn't get paid, man.
I know. The only difference is she doesn't get paid anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys will have to go back to room 217 to understand that context. But back to this story. Kuchisake Ona's malevolence extended to her interactions with the living. She would approach her potential victims with her long, straight, black hair concealing her face as well. In a chilling whisper, she would ask, "Watashi kirei?" Apologies for my Japanese pronunciation.
Oh my God.
But that translates to, can you
Am
guess?
I pretty?
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
Am I
man.
pretty? That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
If the response was no, she had a penchant for violence. She would either kill her victim on the spot with her sinister weapon or bide her time, visiting them later in the night to commit the gruesome deed.
Damn.
So you can't say no. You gotta call her hot, basically.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I emphasize this enough. With her mask on, she is very, very beautiful. The legend, like her original, when she was a human, her original being, was that she was actually like a very, very beautiful woman in her village. Yeah. And that's why she basically got all the guys that she wanted. You know, they were fawning over her.
Right.
So she wasn't just an ordinary woman. She was like the prettiest woman in town, you know? Yeah. So even now, that's why she asks, "Am I pretty?"
Damn, man. That went to her grave, like with her to the grave. That's crazy.
Yeah. However, if someone dared to respond with a hesitant yes to the question, Kuchisake Ona would reveal her disfigured mouth.
Ah, man.
And her question would persist. Koredimo, which means...
Answer me. No. Does it mean that?
No, it means even with this.
Ah, shit. So she knows. Oh, man.
Yeah. So she reveals her true appearance. If the victim's response was no, or if they screamed in terror, her weapon would claim them. But if they said yes, the sinister fate they faced was equally grisly. She would slice the corners of their mouth from ear to ear, leaving them to bear a grotesque semblance of her own disfigurement. So now I can tell you what the true translation of Kuchisake Ona means.
Yep. What does it mean?
The slit-mouthed woman.
Oh, man. I was thinking of something like someone smiling, or their smiles were way too big to be normal, like human, you know?
Yeah. But it's not from having a big mouth. It's from getting cut from ear to ear. That was her punishment by her Genji samurai husband. Yeah.
So the question I have for you though is she so obsessed with her looks because whoever like kind of mutilated her face or whatever was so upset that they were either cheating on them, or it's the other way around, you know, the other wives of the, you know, people that she cheated with, they're so mad at her that they tried to make her look, you know, less desirable and pretty and stuff, and so that kind of just stayed with her and her, you know, to the grave.
It depends on the origin of the lore that you come from, or you want to believe in. If it's the one where she cheated on her samurai husband, and he punished her, then the reason why that happened was because her samurai husband wanted to punish her by taking away the thing that he knew she valued the most, which was her looks. And if it was the other origin, which was a jealous woman in the village attacked her and did this to her, that also comes from the fact that they were jealous because of her looks. Yeah. So it kind of comes from the same place.
Kind of the same place.
Yeah, it's kind of the same place. We know that the original lady was beautiful and she had good looks, but it just depends. Either it came from jealousy or punishment. But that's basically why her face was the point of like mutilation.
Yeah.
In her punishment.
Yeah, man, that's unfortunate for her, but at the same time, like, it's, you know, like, if you are kind of like, if you do meet her, no matter what, you still lose. You know, if you say, yes, you are pretty, you become the next, you know, is it the laughing woman? What was the name again?
The slit-mouthed woman.
You become that. But if you say no, that's it, man. Like,
she'll kill you on the spot. It's It's a lose-lose situation, and that's why you just never want to run into this lady.
So how does she choose you? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
is it only guys?
Luck. That's just luck. Nope. It was just luck.
Okay, gotcha.
So the village had a collective fear of this vengeful spirit.
Yeah.
But they also possessed knowledge passed down through generations on how to survive an encounter with Kuchisake Onna.
Yeah.
Some legends suggested that she would spare those who answered yes to both of her questions, although other versions claim that she would merely return later in the night to claim her victim. Others believed that the key to survival lay in deceit. So what do you think that means?
I guess, like, honestly saying yes twice, which you kind of are deceiving her, saying like, oh yeah, you are, you know, and I don't know, hoping that she doesn't kind of like follow you up, you know? I don't know. What does it mean? You tell me.
It's not an email. She's going to follow you up.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's what I was thinking. Like, look, I'm going to say no to her twice. If she actually finds me in person, I say no to her twice, but then she sends me like an invoice via email or something like, hey, about that time, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, just following up on your previous request.
Yeah.
No, okay. So... If one described her appearance as average, it would grant them precious moments to escape from her clutches. For some, distracting her with money or hard candies, particularly the caramelized sugar candy known as beko ame, was an effective strategy, as she would momentarily pause to collect the coins or sweets. So that's what was meant by deceit. You had to trick her, dude. You had to trick her. I knew you were going to love this part.
How was I supposed to know this? All I know is that she's either pretty or not. I'm going to die. That's all I know. Okay,
I know. It was. I wasn't expecting you to get the answer to that, but I knew you would love it because it's hard candy is the way you trick.
That's like a mechanic to a boss, though. Like, you kind of trick them with something, and then in that time you run. You know?
Yeah, literally. They're just going to be like, oh my god, How'd you know? How'd you know I love the caramelized?
Yeah. Oh man.
But isn't it so funny that how like, if you don't say yes or no, but if you say average, she's just like,
so interesting. Like, is it because she gets stunned? Like, I did not expect that. Like,
basically, basically, because she knows like when she's wearing the mask, she's beautiful, and she knows that when she takes the mask off, she's a freaking monster. So she's expecting yes or no. But when you say average, it's like you're contemplating the reality of the situation. It's like, you know what? You're actually not too bad. I've seen some woman like you down the street.
Yeah, that's
and she's just like,
interesting.
wait a minute. This wasn't as bad as I thought it would go.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if you're kind of knowing or expecting that you're going to get a yes or no, Ryan, then somebody kind of takes the time to kind of, you know, just think critically or review you a little bit. It's kind of like, oh, hold on a minute, you know?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this outcome.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's interesting. So that means somebody has done that and they have survived to tell the story, I'm assuming.
I mean, that's all we can imagine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There was one peculiar solution whispered among the villagers, a word that had the power to repel her. It was the word pomade, and by uttering it 3 times, they could drive her away. Now, I have absolutely no idea why that is a thing. I was hoping we could brainstorm on what pomade could possibly mean. But in my research, that was apparently a thing.
Okay, pomade. Is it pomade like POMADE, like lemonade?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
What?
No, like
No, as in like the
No, as in
ADE kind
like
of ending, like
yeah, the
pomade.
ADE, but like the pomade, like hair wax.
Yeah, no, I obviously it's not lemonade called pomade. I'm saying is it spelled like lemonade?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
I didn't think of lemonade straight away when I said pomade. But yeah,
you know what? Before I tell you my answers, what do you think about that?
I have no idea. I really don't, because I just don't see the connection. I tried really hard finding out why pomade might have some meaning behind it.
Yeah.
But as you could probably imagine, the search results come out with hair wax before it goes to any Japanese demons or spirits.
Oh wow,
So
yeah.
I really
just checked
couldn't
that
find
now.
anything, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that because a lot of games that I've played, Japanese or Korean, in kind of like these dreaming ghosts, kind of like, I don't know, zones or whatever. Like there's a lot of like games that I play where there's kind of like dreaming ghosts that haunt you.
Yeah.
For
It's like a
some
dream
reason,
sequence.
yeah, there's always something to do with like hair wax being dropped as an item that you can collect. So I actually I really want to know, and I will point out one game, Maple Story. So
Yeah.
I wonder what do scary like women that will eat you, kind of like those kind of characters, what does wax have to do with that? Is there some tradition where your hair has to be a certain way, or like there's a lot of like kind of like expectations of certain ways of dressing and culture and all that stuff. So maybe wax is kind of like something that they really need to have part of their like expectations or whatever. But I don't know. Like I'm wondering.
I have no idea, man. I really can't. I mean, I'm Googling it as we're speaking, and I can't find any anything other than it being hair wax to use.
Yeah.
Maybe it just has something to do with the appearance thing again. Maybe it's it's telling her you need pomade, you need pomade, you need
100%, dude.
because your hair is so frizzy, you ugly hag.
Yes, 100%.
She's just like, hold on a second. That makes a good point. I actually do need some pomade, and then again you can escape. I don't know.
That's literally, dude. That has to be it. Why would a spirit who is, or what is she? I guess a revenant or a demon. What is she?
She is a yokai, I believe.
Yokai. What is that again?
A yokai is.
It's kind of like an angry revenant or something, right?
Give me one moment.
Yokai.
So a yokai, it's a class of supernatural entity and spirits in Japanese.
Yeah. I mean, she is supernatural. She does have like supernatural powers and things like that, right?
Well, here we go. Yokai is composed of two kanji characters, which both mean suspicious and doubtful. Yeah. So, doubtful, you got to doubt her. That's what you got to do. That's how you get away from a yokai. You have to instill doubt in them.
Yeah. They're very doubtful, right?
Yeah, so your hair's ugly.
Yeah. Oh my God. And that's why a majority of these kind of like stories always have like, the more you say bad things to them, the more they get hurt or they're fragile about stuff, right? Yeah.
Interesting. They've just got fragile egos.
Yeah, dude, it's all linking up. And now that I think about it, what you said about the wax, it has to make sense because the whole gig is that she's quite like, linked to her appearance. Her appearance is everything, right?
Yeah.
She died knowing that her appearance is being changed or, she was mutilated because of her beautiful appearances. So, coming back, she's all about appearance. So if you tell her, hey, actually, you don't look so good, put some wax in your hair, that will kind of give you maybe some like power over her, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's a one-way street to Doubtville. Doubtville.
Yeah. That's a new street in Los Angeles, to Doubtville.
Doubtville.
Yeah. No, honestly, that's a really cool link. I'm so happy that you kind of brought that up because I've always wondered why do these games always have hair wax and stuff like that? But it's probably that's maybe in games it's different, but for this case it has to be that. Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe the Maple Story item that we used to use, which I can't even remember, what was it used for in Maple Story?
There was a thing in Shower Town where there's like kind of like weird ghosty characters, or maybe I'm mixing up the item, but there's this item.
Oh, that's okay. That's going to be a story for another day, I think. We'll get back into this one. We'll get back into the butt cheeks of Kuchisake Onna. Okay.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Yo, whoa.
Yeah.
All right. The story of Kuchisake Onna was a specter that haunted both the daytime and the nighttime lives of the villagers. It was an enigma that would not be banished by mere daylight. Its grip tight as the night sky. The 1970s marked a resurgence in the awareness of the Kuchisake Onna legend, a time when newspapers and magazines reported on the gruesome tale. rumors about this vengeful spirit, I can't pronounce that word today, vengeful spirit, spread
Vengeful
like
spirit.
Yeah, vengeful spirit.
I'm supporting you.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you. Spread like wildfire across the nation, leaving no corner untouched. The village children were particularly affected, their lives shadowed by the fear of the slit-mouthed woman. Groups of adults accompanied them as they walked to and from school, a united front against the chilling specter that lurked. Matthew Meyer, an author and folklorist, believed that the roots of the Kuchisake Onna legend could be traced back to Japan's Edo period. However, there was also a dissenting opinion from the Japanese literature professor Lekura Yoshiyuki, who argued that the legend was a product of the 1970s. Regardless of its origin, there was no denying the power this tale had over the people, a dark force that had persisted through the ages. So like a lot of these legends, it's almost impossible to figure out exactly when it even started, let alone the origin tale that may have, brought forth the folklore that or the legend that we talk about today, that started the Chinese whispers.
Yeah.
But it could be as far back as the Edo period, which is, when was the Edo period?
I would love to know myself, actually.
It was 1603.
Wow.
So it could have been 1603, or it could have been the late 1900s or the 1970s. So the legend of Kuchisake Onna had even transcended the realm of folklore, finding a place in popular culture. She was considered a yokai, a term encompassing a wide range of supernatural beings in Japanese tradition, by historians and manga author Shigeru Mizuki. Kuchisake Onna's official induction into the yokai pantheon was said to occur when Mizuki included her in one of his newest yokai encyclopedias. So that is probably one of the scariest encyclopedias you could ever read. It's basically it's like talking about every single, you know that book in Phasmophobia that you use?
Yep.
Which describes every single type of demon or ghost that you're going to potentially find.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the yokai encyclopedia by Mizuki is. And it just goes through like all of the types of ghosts that exist, which I don't even want to get into because I'm saving them for future stories. But I found, honestly, hundreds. There's hundreds of these stories. This is just one of the most like well-known ones, I would say. I think it's probably one of the most famous ones.
Yeah.
But this was a great find. And Kuchisake Onna is definitely
Honestly,
one of the front runners in the yokai encyclopedia.
That was a really nice story, and it makes me wonder, like, is there something similar that's happening to, the later 2000s? Is there something like that people hear about or talk about? Something like that.
Honestly, it kind of feels like the newest version of a story like this we've had is the Blair Witch, because it takes a bit of like publication or media to like really get the story going.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. But the story's not over. I've got a little bit left. Kuchisake Onna's notoriety extended beyond the realm of oral tradition. She made appearances in live-action films, manga, and anime, and video games, cementing her status as a cultural icon.
Oh, wow.
Her character was introduced in the 1994 animated film Pom Poko, produced by the renowned Studio Ghibli. Dude, she appeared in a Studio Ghibli movie.
That's awesome.
Subsequently, a live-action short film in 1996 and 1998, and the 1998 film Ring, both referenced her eerie presence. However, it was in 2007 that Kuchisake Onna took the center stage with the release of Carved, the Slit-Mouthed Woman, a film that sent shivers down the spines of viewers worldwide.
I just got shivers, man. I did the biggest mistake. I Googled her face. Do not do that. Do not do that.
That was going to be my warning after this paragraph.
Oh my God. What did I just see?
Yeah. Miki Mizuno portrayed the chilling character who embarked on a relentless quest for revenge. The film was followed by sequels, further cementing Kuchisake Onna's place in the halls of horror. So, despite her transformation into a pop culture icon, Kuchisake Onna remained true to her origins as a malevolent spirit, a ghostly figure that struck terror into the hearts of anyone who dared to cross her path. And that is the story of Kuchisake Onna.
That is such a nice story. I love this one. This is probably like the best one yet so far, in my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so, man.
Well, I'm glad because I've got an encyclopedia of more stories about similar spirits, man.
Oh, I'd love to hear all about it, man.
What you just did, you Googled it and you saw the film adaptation and like the portrayal.
It displaced me, man. I started looking behind me to my left. I started like moving my seat back. I'm just not comfortable right now. That is such a terrifying thing to look at.
So I personally don't recommend doing what you just did, which was Googling an image of her.
No.
But if you are a tough guy or girl, feel free to look it up. And if you're even tougher than that, watch the movie. Because you know what's going to happen. I'm going to force you to watch it.
I'm watching this tonight, man. What do you mean? We're watching this, man.
Yeah, Carved, the slit-mouthed woman. We're going to watch it. I want to know what's going to happen at the end of the movie because, I mean, it doesn't seem like there is an end to this movie. Please don't tell me at the end of the movie they just give her like hair wax and then the movie ends and they're like, oh, that was the way to defeat the witch.
Yeah. I feel like,
but yeah, there's an awesome movie that fully depicts the story that I just told you.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to watch it.
I need to see it, man. I want to Google her again. I'm gonna do it.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh,
man. I don't like that. Yeah.
Nah, I'm closing that. Yeah.
I've literally seen this image like 100 times now.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you, but my safe search is like blurring half the images.
Oh really? Oh yeah. No, I just I saw everything and just. No matter where I look top left on my browser. If there's a scary image there, I look to the right. Yeah. There's another one, but it's like a different angle. So
oh God. Okay, yeah, that just sent a shiver down my spine, and I literally have already seen it. I don't like looking at those pictures because it's so like jarring the way her mouth extends from ear to ear and her eyes. Creepy.
I really hope that we never invite these kind of things to happen to us. That's one thing I hope. I don't want to deal with that, you know?
Well, we know who to blame.
Yeah.
Me.
And it's that guy from high school that sat behind us. No, I'm joking.
No.
No, I don't know. I don't even know.
Oh, man. Anyway, I think that's all for today.
Sweet.
We're done with horror stories for this week, I would say. I'm
going to be real with you. This is one of those things I genuinely don't want to look at before bed. It's one of those ones where like genuinely I will be terrified by this. So
yeah.
Good one. Good find. It was really good.
Thank you very much. Well, until next week, whatever you do, don't listen before bed. Goodbye, everybody.